Passover starts this week and is celebrated around the world with a festive meal called a SEDER. And we are talking about kosher wines, and even some celebrity Passover wines are now available. Here to tell us all about them is Jay Bucksbaum with the Royal Wine Corp. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, really.
It's a pleasure. So for those who don't know, just give us like Passover 101. What is it, and what is the significance of wine within a SEDER?
It's the freedom of the Hebrews from Egypt, from enslavement. So it's a kind of holiday. It's the most ecumenical Jewish holiday. Everybody celebrates it. You know, melded families and even restaurants having Passover-themed dinners. But it's all about freedom. And what's wonderful about Passover, really short, is that unlike any other Jewish holiday where you have to show up to synagogue and pray for about 2 or 3 hours, all you have to do here is show up and eat and drink. That's how you celebrate Passover.
Easy enough. And when you mention drinking, there are 4 glasses of wine in a SEDER, am I right?
Correct. And every man, woman, and child is supposed to participate. So for children, we have grape juice, which in Jewish theology and Jewish thought is the equivalent of wine.
Now, listen, I'm not going to throw any shade towards Manischewitz, but a lot has happened in the world of kosher for Passover wine. So let's talk about what's available that you are liking in terms of various price points and varietals.
Oh, my gosh. You know, most of the drinking community is really fixated on reds. I love reds, but I'm really a white wine and even a rosé wine drinker, especially for the first cup at the Passover SEDER. So, you know, a lot has changed since, you're right, the Manischewitz days. We have wines from 17 countries around the world, including the most well-known: France, Italy, Spain, Israel, California, Australia, New Zealand, you know, throughout Latin America.
Talk me through some of these celebrity wine options that are out there for Passover.
So we have really 3 celebrities that have been making wine for Passover. The first one of which was Vera Wang. And you have a Vera Wang on your right there, the sparkling wine first, which is the Prosecco in that silver bottle. And then, and that's what she started with, because Vera is all about celebrating, you know, weddings, right? She's got those beautiful gowns that, you know, women must have for their wedding. But she also went to, and I think really appropriately, to rosés from Provence. And particularly this rosé is owned, run, and founded by a woman winemaker. And so it's made by a woman for celebrations. It's from Provence, which is the traditional place where rosés come from. And it's just a wonderful glass of wine. I
mean, I did wear a Vera Wang wedding dress, Jay, so I think it's only fitting that I should try this. Now, Vera Wang, she's known for being chic. She's known for fashion, so wine doesn't seem like a very big leap. But speaking of leaps, Jay, tell me about a couple basketball players who are in the kosher wine game.
Really crazy. Amare Stoudemire, of course, you know, he's now been nominated for the Hall of Fame. I think he's going to get in. And also Basketball Hall of Fame. And also a icon and a Hall of Famer is Isiah Thomas. Both of those are now making kosher cuvées. Isiah Thomas is making a champagne, talk about celebration. And he talks about when he won the first title, how they poured champagne over his head. And he said, you know, I think I like this stuff. And he decided to go and make real French champagne. And he's made a kosher cuvée that is really wonderful. And Amare Stoudemire is a crazy wine guy. In fact, there were stories told about how he used to bathe in red wine. And ultimately, he converted to Judaism. Isiah didn't, but Amare did, converted to Judaism, and ended up making kosher wine for himself and for his Jewish community as well. So, and both of them are very high-end, you know, really high quality. All of these celebrities talk about, whether it's a basketball player or somebody who, you know, designs and makes wedding gowns, details to really fabulous wine is just as important as their basketball or their wedding gowns.
Well, what I've just learned is that if I bathe in red wine, it's going to help my jump shot.
I don't know about that, but you'll feel good, that's for sure.
Well, where can we go to find out more about kosher wines for Passover?
We have a website, royalwine.com, www.royalwine.com. And on your table to your left, you have the Herzog wine. All the way to your left, the two last wines.
I see it. Yep, right there.
It's a Pinot Noir, I believe, and the Sauvignon Blanc, which is in the ice thing, on your left, all the way on your left. Also a Herzog lineage wine. The Herzog family has been making wine since 1848 in Czechoslovakia and started making wine in America in 1948. So we're talking about, and then you also have right in front of you to your left is the Israeli wine from Barkan. And to your right, all the way to your right, is a French wine, which is, just gives you an idea of the diversity of wine flavors and types and varieties that are available to the kosher consumer and to the non-kosher consumer. The key thing that we talk about when we make wine today, and I come from originally many, many years ago selling non-kosher wine, is that we want it to be either as good or better than its non-kosher counterparts.
Well, Jay, thank you so much. I can personally attest, Vera Wang's is delicious. Happy Passover to those who celebrate. And Jay, always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy your glass.
Oh, that's good.